You're welcome back to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the KOKO Digest Morning Show, and we're about to have our online and newspaper review with two of my co-hosts. I'm sure you already know them by now, Miriam Abnadede and Clement Yabankwe. They were here for the motivational quote, so if you just tuned in, then yes, I'm introducing them again. Yes, hello, my lady and my gentleman.
Hello, Yaya.
Hey, Mimi. Oh, yes. When did you even enter this jersey?
Oh, so I placed an order.
Oh, I see.
I was waiting. I think they delayed a bit. So it just came in. And I said, no, I'm not missing out on this opportunity because we are scoring Sudan. It is a 4-0 match for Ghana. So
okay. I
have to rep them.
As you can see, Black Stars, as you can see, they are repping you here. So if you disappoint, trouble.
I know, Mimi, I think he's the Vim no was ropa. Na sanya quotes no yede man pay. They should leave an ink of happiness. So Mimi, tell the Black Stars that today they should leave an ink of happiness, because if you don't, trust me, Stadium Media and trying that they able to.
Oh, I trust them.
Say also Independence Square, so it's
very close.
We'll lay there and laugh. We have a quote. We have a comment from Obiba as usual. He says, "Hello, good morning. It is nice to see you again." Yes, and it is nice to receive your comment as well. Thank you so much. So yes, it is time for the online and newspaper review. So send in your comments, send in your news bits that you found to our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen, and of course also onto our YouTube and Facebook live stream. Join in the conversation here so that it will not just be the three of us, but you know, with you as well. Yes, trending lords. Today I've changed their name. What's up? What is going on the streets of Accra or in Ghana?
The streets of Accra and Ghana is heated. And it's all about this galamsey. There's one news I had early yesterday, and it's sad. It's all about the fight against galamsey. A community in the Wasai East District, that's Western region, known as Central Krobo. Yesterday, early morning, the youth decided to go on peaceful demonstration because Chinese people are taking over the lands and the water bodies to mine. That is specifically River Pra. So it's totally polluted. That's the only source of water they have. And as a result of this demonstration, they confronted the Chinese in their place of work, and they asked them that they should halt all activity and pack to their country because they are destroying the water bodies. And the peaceful demonstration turned into a chaotic season when the bodyguards of the Chinese company fired an arm and they shot 2 youths of Central Krobo. And currently, they are at the hospital, Ahmadiyya Hospital at the Boise receiving treatment. So it has left the town of Central Krobo quite chaotic because they're also saying they will not allow the Chinese people to continue the illegal activities in that community. So that is. So,
you know, with what you're saying, there's this photo going around, and it has a picture of an Asian man, probably Chinese or one of, and it says here, so there are captions on it, and I'll try to read some. So it says, "Fix your minds before fixing the country." Some, but most Ghanaians, okay, let me not read that. So this one says, the words of the Chinese ambassador, Mr. Shiting Wang to Ghana says, number 1, no Chinese knows the location of Ghana's mining communities or reserves. It is Ghanaians that introduce them to the trade. 2, China does not issue visas for Chinese coming to Ghana. It is Ghana that issues the visas. Then 3, why are Chinese not doing illegal mining in South Africa where there is also a lot of gold? Because their locals do not support such illegalities. Then the 4th one says, the Chinese government will not tolerate any of its nationals involved in illegalities in another country. Then the conclusion was that Ghana must be blamed for the rise of illegal mining in Ghana and the bad nature of our water bodies. So people see Galamsey as an investment venture and then go and get foreign direct investment to our detriment.
So Hera, when you listen to what the Chinese ambassador is saying, indirectly, if I'm not sorry for my words, he has seen Ghana as I don't know the right word to use, but he sees us to be child, like we are behaving like a child.
Well,
Because per what he's saying, he has even observed that in South Africa you can't do this, in China you can't do this. And he has also observed that before a Chinese man will come to Ghana, it is the Ghana, yes, they are those who give the visa to them. So if you know all these things, why then do you allow the Chinese to come to wherever community they find themselves in?
But he's simply the ambassador, right?
Yes.
You cannot exactly restrict movement of people. You cannot also stop them from doing business. Right now, that's, yes, we've seen that it is illegal, then steps can be taken. But maybe his powers as an ambassador are limited because he's here for the welfare of Chinese in Ghana. You know, he's a representative of China to Ghana. So maybe what he can do is to tell them to stop and there is. But if the people, it's as though I've come to your home and you've given me free range to live as though I am the owner of the house. Who can stop me from doing whatever I want?
Yes, so that's what I'm trying to say. That.
So it has to start from us.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that indirectly we are still in that colonization. We are still being colonized by other people or
And
other
we are
countries.
allowing it.
Yes.
But you know, like I always say, I said at this point, I sound like a broken record, but correct me if I'm wrong. It is all stemming from our standard of living. The poverty levels are so high that people are so money crazed. Everybody wants to survive to the point where they are bringing in foreign nationals. I mean, there's the greed side where these are people who have money. They're wealthy people and they can employ a few people, pay them some peanuts. And these people are scrambling for these peanuts because they have no other means of livelihood. You see, so it is a very, like, I think I was saying the other time that if we are going to even stop Galamsey, we need to find an alternative, a source of livelihood for these people involved in these things, because they are dying. They are going through so many health problems that we may not be aware of, but because of the nukofio they will get to eat, they are still engaging in such.
But yeah, I'm surprised, a bit surprised to hear the ambassador say these things that he just read, because I mean, you clearly said he's a rep of Chinese. He's here to just represent the Chinese citizens in Ghana. But you said if someone visits your home and then takes control, you can't really control the person.
So if someone comes to your home and you give the person free range, authority over your home, like, you know, the home is theirs, who is going to stop them if not me?
So currently we are battling illegal mining in the country, right? So I was expecting him as a leader of such a force to say something, not to, you know, incite some kind of force or agitation on the part of Ghanaians against his people, so that we can live peacefully. But on the side of the Chinese attacking our people who intended to protest, I think they didn't really do well.
That is what brings me back to the analogy I gave, that they have been given such free range, and apparently even these illegal miners and things, they have guards. So sometimes our police or our security agencies or officials that go there are attacked.
Yeah. And you know, for some time, when we mention illegal mining in Ghana, it is the Chinese that we affiliate them to illegal mining. So this issue has been happening not today.
Yes.
We were all in this country when Aisha was arrested and, you know, convicted. But I think the treatment that was given to our people should be taken seriously, because it shouldn't be done. You can't go to China and then
do this in another country.
No. You can't do that. I don't think they really treated our people well. It was a peaceful protest, and so why should you attack our people?
Yeah. And then also, I even heard some sort of rumors or stories about something about this illegal mining relating to Chinese people. And then when they were going to be convicted, apparently the Chinese people involved had died and been cremated. Those kinds of silly kinds of stories that just to prevent them from being prosecuted in the right way, somehow they got away or something. And then the story that came out was that they are dead. And if we Ghanaians are doing this just because we want to find something to eat, on one hand, it is understandable, but to what end? Because if you are making this money and now you and your family are spending it in the hospital, what use is it then?
Yeah, right. I think what the ambassador said, we are not here to discuss that very thing. But let me say last thing before we move into a different story. What the ambassador said is trying to point to the major cause of this illegal mining, where the Chinese people are involving themselves. That is the point he's trying to make. That Ghanaians should look at this avenue, this avenue, this avenue. And when you do that, you are going to stop the Chinese people, as you claim, they are involving in illegal mining. So he thinks that before you give a Chinese person a visa to Ghana, look into what he's coming to do critically. Before a Chinese man will go to, let's say, Ashanti, that he wants to go mine, he goes to the chiefs, he goes to the assemblyman, he goes to all these people. He's trying to tell them that don't give them the access to your land. If you fail, or if you don't give them access to your land, they will not get any place to mine.
Yeah.
But here's the case that when they come, as you said, we accept them. And they also use that avenue to just maneuver their ways through and destroy everything.
What you are saying, there are people that will say, oh, come to me. I know how we will get around these chiefs. If they say no, don't worry. You know that, what word can I use? Let me use connection man. Yes. They will say, oh, they can link them, they can link them. The chiefs have said, no, don't do it, but I will send you there. Don't worry, I got you. That is what goes on here in Ghana. And then also is the fact that there's power play. The money, the people holding the money hold so much power against these people. So yes, they know, like the attacks on our own people who were protesting. Because they know they have the money and the arms, they are able to attack our people. Our people don't have that to be able to combat it. So we are in... is it a rat race at this point?
Well,
anyway.
Well, Yaira, we'll still come back to
Galamsey, as usual.
Because
there are more stories
what I want
to
talk about, it is linked to that. You know, the famous organized labor strike, Buhaha, has been trending for some time. And yesterday, it trended even more. And it's still trending as organized labor called off its intended strike, which was supposed to start today. And it has brought a lot of controversies online. I know we'll delve into that in our online stories. That is what is happening today. And aside that, today happens to be World Mental Health Day.
Okay.
It is a day set aside to appreciate people, you know, in that state. Yeah. And the theme for this year is prioritizing workplace mental health. And we all know that we spend most of our time at work. And so it could either make or unmake us. The kind of stress we face at work will either make or unmake us. And so as part of the voices on creating the awareness, I just want to say that we should all create a conducive environment at our various workplaces so that we can work in harmony and not, you know, harm people with our, you know, toxic behaviors and unacceptable ways of living. We should have that kind of family system at our workplaces, and we'll all have that sound mental health.
And even as we talked about love today, let us show our colleagues some love. We are not in competition. We are here to drive our organization, move it forward. So show some love to your colleagues. If someone has stepped on your toe, forgive them. If you have anything to say it with decorum and tact, and communicate properly and show some love as you go about in your organization.
And those that we forgive, they should be willing to accept the forgiveness. Because if I forgive you and you don't forgive me or accept my forgiveness, it is still the same thing.
Yes. The only thing I would say is in mental health, it's not only about people who are, sorry to say, who have issues with their mental, but it's about your kind of words you use. You see, for someone like me, I'm very emotional to your words you use on me. Yes, I'm that type of people. So if you use some words that doesn't sound good to me, it affects me totally. So in the workplace, try to know whom you associate yourself with. The words you are using on the person, try to judge it. You, if someone uses on you, will you be happy? If not, don't use on your colleague. And we are good to go. That's the only thing I would say.
And then, as you mentioned, workplace. So employers should also strive to find out how best to improve the conditions of service for their employees. Because it contributes greatly to their mental health. Even the infrastructure you use, how much, you know, time you spend there. If you are sitting in a chair that is not comfortable, you will get body pains and then it starts to affect your mental health as well. So it is a cycle. So employers, please, conditions of service, improve it for your employees, to help with their mental health. Yes, so we have a few comments. Our very own Obiba Wilson says, good morning, Ira. Hope you are doing great. Yes, we are well here. Thank you. He says, I love your motivational quotes because it aligns with my life principles. I always try to make people around me happy. Life itself is complicated, so let us try to make things easy for ourselves and God will bless us. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful comment. We also have Video Master's Office saying good morning to you. D&J Venture says good morning Clock TV and good morning to you. Then Rose Entertainment says good morning to you all. Sorry. I am Charles watching you from Dubai. Good morning to you. Now, Rose Entertainment is asking, what is the update on the strike? We will get to that shortly. So let's hold our horses. We'll get there soon. What else is trending, please? Jersey Madam, come and tell us about the football.
So, as you all know, we are still on the road to AFCON 2025 qualifiers, and Ghana happens to be one of the countries playing. And in our team, we are placed third on the charts because we were not able to beat Angola. And also, I think we are yet to meet Sudan today, but Sudan happens to be the second on the charts. And we are third, and then Niger is fourth. So we are meeting Sudan today at the Accra Sports Stadium at 4 p.m. to have a very hot match. I term this match very critical because we lost one match and then we had a draw. So I'm just hoping that we'll be able to win this one because it is all about winning. If we don't win, and then even with a draw, I don't think it will help us. Yeah. So
the calculator will not function.
No. Hey, Ghanaians can calculate too. Hey.
I think the last time Ghana had a match, I know somebody who plays the bet. He had so much faith in the past.
And there are so many.
And his fault is bet. So me, that's why I said I've given up on Black Stars.
Don't give up. Because even with this team, there's a change. There are some key players that have been taken out, and then they are trying the young ones. And so we are hoping that there will be changes. But there's a tension somewhere because our former coach, Kwesi Appiah, is the coach for the team we are playing today.
Okay.
And that team has not lost any match yet. So people are scared that our coach might give, Sudan all the tricks and tactics they need to know about Ghana, and then
if he betrays Ghana like that, we'll prosecute him for treason because why would you do?
He's accepting better salary.
No, that's his work, and nobody wants to fail in the work of business.
Don't give him the things that this is your home country. So loyalty.
So, but I think lifestyle will bring us details because we'll have the sports
so
details will be there.
So one thing I also saw online was about the strike, the organized labor strike, and I think apparently one of the heads of Gihog Distilleries issued a threat that any employee that engages in the strike will be sacked.
And
then I think GMET, Ghana Meteorological Agency, also said they were not participating. Even the Ghana Medical Association also. And for the pharmaceuticals too, it's like, But my attention was more on the Gihog Distilleries because...
He was sacked.
First of all, it is a civil right. And you are part of this organization, and they say that just because it is not something the employer has the right to do.
So I listened to his video, and I think from what he said, he said there are labor laws that guide our work as well. And so as a union, you cannot just get up and say you're embarking on a general strike because it is affecting the nation. Like, that was his explanation. He said it is we as a union, we are independent, right? But when we come together, we form the organized labor. So we also have our rules, we also have our laws. And so you can't just get out of the union and say you're joining a generalized strike. Like, so from what he said,
what would constitute
so from what he said shows that, at the top, they did not, conclude on the strike as a union or organized labor coming together to agree on the strike. So that's my take from what he said.
But the threat, The threats to the employees.
Maybe he felt saying that
You can't do this. You can't. It is not something you. Okay, well, Ghana, but in other countries, do you think, even in the US, do you think someone can come, an owner of a company, the labor union, the labor laws work there. If you come and issue that kind of threat, they might even the union can actually go on some sort of, I don't want to call it protest, in a way that they can call for an impeachment of you being the leaders, the board members, and things like that.
So, Yara, it's easy. This organized labor issue, even before the start, other unions were not in support of what organized labor was going to do. When organized labor on Wednesday said this, and on Wednesday or Tuesday, they still insist of going on strike. Other unions were like, no, we will not go on strike. To an extent that as at yesterday, Wednesday, GMA, Ghana Medical Association, issued a statement that they are not going on strike. Other union also came out that they are also going on strike. So you could see that even before organized labor took a decision that today they are suspending all strike or any other thing, various unions within them were not even in support of what organized labor is going to do. So you can see that I sense that there is some kind of division among the organized labor to an extent that how would you come and say that if a worker should participate in the strike, you are going to sack the person? How would you do that? But you see, Yara, before I think we are just delving into the first story. So in line with the first story, UTAG still insists that they are going on strike. They had election that was yesterday night, very late, around 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And their communique out right now states that for them, they are going on indefinite strike. Yes, organized labor has taken their decision that strike is suspended. But for UTAG, they are telling all members in the 15 universities in Ghana that they didn't go to work until the government officially releases a statement that yes, we are going to ban all illegal activities. And I think the stand of UTAG, one way or the other, it's a good one. One way or the other too, I think it might equally affect the students because the whole issue is GRASAC, that is Graduate Students Association of Ghana. They are also embarking on a protest, God willing, tomorrow with the Catholic bishop. They've issued a statement that officially they are joining the Catholic bishop tomorrow to embark on this protest that is against illegal mining. They are of the view that the waters that the university students use in the various campuses is through Ghana Water Company Limited. So if the water bodies are being polluted, meaning that the waters they are using in the various hostels, in the various campuses are also equally polluted. So government should do something about it as soon as possible. And GRASAC is the youth. So if, for example, organized labor has suspended a strike action, trust me, the youth can stand. Because if GRASAC is now awakening the youth spirit, they should see what's more happening next.
Well, I'm glad the youth spirit is awakening because our forefathers, the nationalist movements and things to gain independence, was all through these kinds of things, standing against the powers that be. And you know, for the Ghana Medical Association not being interested in the strike, it kind of baffles me because this strike was more to, should I even call it a threat? More like a way to put some pressure on our government to start taking action. Because like you said, the students are the ones, you know, like GRASAC, one of the reasons for GRASAC's strike or their protest is that the students use the waters there. Now, this is like everything in this Ghana here is now a cycle because these students are going to, you send your ward to school, they go, they get, sick because of these kinds of waters. And who is going to attend to them? Ghana Medical Association, members of the Ghana Medical Association, members of the Pharmaceutical Association, because they are the ones providing healthcare. And if you don't want to stand that, because we probably, like we said the other day, we don't have enough facilities for a Galamsey water pandemic or endemic here in Ghana. We don't. And already they are attending to people who are already even afflicted by some of these things already in the remote areas where these things are happening. But we forget that Accra is one of the biggest hubs of business. Accra is one of the places where a lot of the things, food stuff, waters, everything, it comes here. So all these things, these rivers, these waters that we are using, our water companies and the rest, what water are they using to give us our drinking water, our pure water, our bottled water. I don't want to mention any brands, but what waters, all of these things are happening here in Accra. And if, some people were even saying that the thing is not going on here, why are we protesting here in Accra? At the end of the day, it will come here. And this is the place where we have the most hospitals, we have most of the things, because this is the capital. And if we don't take care and it lands here, what happens to us?
That is the issue. But Yaira, you see, I would also say I am part of the disappointed Ghanaians who, seriously, we are disappointed in organized labor for, calling off the strike. Amidst all the division that was happening, I believe they should have, gone on with the strike, maybe for a few days, like 3 days or a week.
Okay, well, according to them, they had a meeting with the government, and then the government had outlined certain measures they were going to put in place. So if you've been told that we are going to do so and so, the operation is called Operation Halt.
Yes.
So they've even given it a name. I think the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has been given a directive to issue an MOU about the revocation of the LI 2462 and things like that. So now leaders of the organized labor are saying, okay, the government has said they will do this. So let us
you see, Ira, where the controversy is sparking from Professor Jampo, who was also part of the meeting yesterday. He made mention of the fact that they did not even conclude on the issue before they started, reading what they think reading what they think governments should do or their conclusion on the issue. So yesterday at the meeting, he made mention of the fact that, yes, according to the General Secretary of TUC, he said government has issued the Lands Minister to issue something to the Parliament for the revocation of the LI, and also aside the deployment of military men to all mining sectors, they are going to make sure that they open about 14, courts to be hearing cases on illegal mining. These are all issues that, we know government is doing something about it. But according to him, he believes that they should have still embarked on the strike to show that they were serious about the whole issue, right? Instead of calling it off, because they did not take the conclusion or the minds of the other unions before. Because according to him, he made mention that they already had a letter to read out to the people at the meeting that was supposed to come together and share ideas. There was an already prepared letter. That's according to Professor Jampo. So that was his also claim on the issue.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are disappointed in organized labor but it's multifaceted. If you are holding my neck that you want money, you want money, you want money, and I tell you, okay, I'll get some money probably by the end of this week. Will you continue holding my neck? You will probably calm down a little. So they mentioned that they are keeping close watch on the government's initiatives being taken in. If they don't, follow up, then they will strike again. They would come up again. And I just hope that the government does not end up making them look like toothless bulldogs or something. And I think I saw a picture online, some allegations. I don't know how true it is. I didn't get the chance to. Something about some monies were paid to certain unions.
So yeah, that's false. That's false allegation.
False.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's leave that story. Let's get into the reason why organized labor just withdraw from this strike action. It was as a result the president accepted to do what they presented before him, and this is what it says. That's a press release yesterday. It says, one, deployment of additional military personnel. That's the president has directed the Minister for Defense to deploy additional military forces to intensify the ongoing Operation Halt, which aims to curb illegal mining activities. This operation will be boosted by the deployment of naval boats on polluted river bodies to ensure the immediate cessation of all mineral mining activities, legal or illegal. So that's the word. He said legal or illegal in and around these water bodies. The second thing is suspension of mining in forest reserve. So that is revocation of the LI 2462. The last one is strengthening prosecution of illegal mining cases in a bid to enhance legal actions against illegal mining activities. For dedicated courts have already been established. The president has further directed the Attorney General to work with them. So organized labor actually presented 3 conditions, as we all know. The revocation of LI 2462, that is deployment of military or the security agencies to the various forest reserve. The last one was a state of emergency. I think that's one the president needs to look through it before. Yeah, the last time we discussed the impact of state of emergency. So looking at all this, I think this is the reason why organized labor decided to suspend its strike action. But as you said, they said they are going to take a close look at this. If government fails to implement all these 3 things lined out, then they would spark again. So I think, yes, we intended going on strike. Now, what we wanted, government said it's going to do for us. So why don't we observe it from afar to see if really government is going to do what we have requested for? If he fails with that one, no matter the union who comes out to say that you don't agree with organized labor, we will all step in and we say, yes, we'll go on strike if government fails this.
A part of the organized labor is still embarking on a strike.
Yes, yes, you
so
talk.
Let's say, assume that government is not able to meet their expectations and then they intend to embark on a strike again. Do you think the other unions are going to take them serious, or even Ghanaians in general?
Well, it can even cause a bigger outrage because you gave us the impression that you are going to start solving the issue. Every day we are hearing about these monies, loans and grants and things, you know, because I think recently Saudi Arabia gave some money to our Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources about getting our affairs in order with regards to our forests and preserving them. We are always hearing about some money being dispatched for something, some loan granted and the rest. Then you come out, like you said, based on your analogy, that they are not able to, you are not able to solve Galamsey in this country. No. So it might even make things worse because we've given you a number of chances and you've still failed. No, we won't allow it. So now if the organized labor or all the unions come up and they are even more outraged, the youth, all the people in the country are more outraged this time, the effects may be way more drastic than the initial ones, which might force them to resolve to probably other means that may not favor them, you know, because from the looks of things too, it seems like it has to be somehow convenient in a way. This time they are going to make them very, very uncomfortable that they have to fix this issue or they will not have peace. The country too will not move forward.
Okay, so on the other hand, those involved in the illegal mining activities are also protesting. Yesterday I saw a video of some community members protesting against the, stop of illegal mining in some communities. And
the reason is?
They are saying that is their source of livelihood. I even saw a video of a young guy, videoing himself saying that these are his tools in his house. How does government expect him to, eat or survive? If they don't call them back to their sites, he's going to stand by the roadside and rob people.
Oh, he can go ahead and do that because we are talking about a bigger impact on the nation, and you are talking about your individual selfish interest. No, let's be so real and talk about the issue as it is. We are talking about issue that is going to affect over 38 million of citizens in Ghana, and you're talking about a community protesting of illegal mining because it's a source of livelihood to you. No, that is not true. That should be that shouldn't be the argument for today. That should be the basis for today.
That they are also part of this country. They make up the over 38 million.
You see, automatically, you don't get everybody to support your idea. You don't get everybody to support what you want to push out for.
But this is what they've been doing for some time now. So
it's very much like, let's scrap clock TV. Where will you get you to your daily bread?
So that talk of even scrapping clock TV will not come in the first place. Let's put that one aside. Assuming this illegal mining, I'm involved and I'm doing something, I know what I'm doing is wrong. And they are telling me that they are going to halt activities of illegal mining, but they are going to put measures in place to make sure that the activity is not going to affect other people. I would wait patiently.
Yes, I would wait patiently. In that waiting, there are some people who eat hand to mouth. It's daily bread. bread, literally. Whatever money they get today is what will feed them today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. So people like that can be desperate. And I'm not defending him because I do not support any of the things the guy said at all. But let's be realistic. Look at the unemployment rate in the country. Debia, we hear ejuma niho, and then these people feel like kakra ye and also some more person then
so Yaira, if these young ones are saying that, then those big men who are also involved will say that is their source of livelihood.
Then they too can also argue that they've created jobs for people. But we need to be more realistic about this thing. So if we are removing them, we need to find something for them to do.
You know, this whole
or some relief.
This whole halt on illegal mining came out like a surprise. Let me put it that way, because governments, from where I sit, I think they did not plan on, halting it immediately like what we are experiencing now.
It's because we're in election year.
But then I think also it's because our water bodies, the pollution level has increased to a point where it is alarming.
And it will surprise you that those protesting are, let me say, illiterate. They don't really know the impact what they are doing is having on the general our health and other things.
A lot of humans are generally selfish and inward looking. They are looking at what they will get, their school fees they will go and pay. They're not thinking about
think some sort of education, intensive education should be done so that they understand the reason why we are halting their activities.
But with the education, if let's say the government or we get some loan or something to help embark on this education thing, there should also be some sort of relief packages added so that if you gather all of them
now,
and teach
we don't
them,
have the relief. Before they joined Galamsey, I presume they were doing something. Seriously,
I'm shocked. I'm shocked we are making this conversation because the thing is wrong. Let's call it spade a spade. This thing is wrong. Let's stop it.
Ojaya then wobeye.
Tinafia kakra. But I'm the nyama better to call mama. Farming, you can do farming.
Farming, the land they've destroyed the land. What are you?
Who destroyed the land? You destroyed the land yourself. So we shouldn't even look at that.
It's just this vicious cycle we are in. So we have a comment here. It says it is only military rule that can solve the problems of Galamsey. This is Stone from Tamale. Stone, I kid you not, it will not solve it. It will just be human rights abuse. Because we've seen it in a lot of countries, military rule. Even here in Ghana, there was military rule, and there's a whole generation of Ghanaians that when a certain, let me just use, when our late President Rawlings' name is mentioned, it leaves a bitter taste in their mouth because of what they went through, the AFRC 1 and 2. And even before him, I think the other one, is it Generally Free Fire? We had military rule here in Ghana, and we don't have a lot of good
they should
reports.
Bring it back. Seriously,
they should.
The state of indiscipline in this country is too high. They should bring it back. We will all be disciplined for 4 years.
4 years, you will be surprised.
Mimi,
maybe.
Let's just stick to our second story. Yara, can we go to the second story?
Okay, we have another comment. This one is also from Obiba. He says, please let Clement mention at least 5 current Black Stars players' names and their coach.
But easy, Yara. Obiba, one day I'll tell you something. Obiba is celebrating his birthday just next week, somewhere next week.
Wow.
Yes.
And send his pictures so we celebrate him.
Yes, I'll do that. So the first Black Star player will be Obiba. He played ball.
Okay. Let's go quickly into your stories now.
Yeah, so Yara, I think my story, we've already said everything. So let's move straight into yours. Yes, I have.
Okay, so as for one last thing about the organized labor too was that the government has also sought their opinion, or they should nominate people they think will be fit to put onto the committee to handle the Galamsey issue. So we are hoping that they find trustworthy, illustrious people.
Hey, it is
well, the second story.
As someone said we are fighting principalities.
So I think the second story, Mimi, you've touched on it. That is, President AKUFFO orders Defense Minister to deploy more military forces. You've already spoken about that, right?
Yeah.
So more naval boats and all that. Okay, so the last story here, effects of Galamsey. So now, DUMSOR imminent in KONONGO as Galamseyers invade GRIDCo site within northern Ashanti mines. So illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey in Konongo, Ashanti region, is posing a serious threat to power supply in parts of the Ashanti and eastern regions. The illegal miners have invaded the northern Ashanti mines concessions where GRIDCo substations, pylons are located, putting critical infrastructure at risk. A GRIDCo substation situated within the operational area of northern Ashanti mines is now under threat due to ongoing Galamsey activities which have compromised several pylons. The situation raises the possibility of power outages affecting the Konongo township and surrounding communities. At this point, it is beginning to look like these Galamseyers,
So
they are acting as though, is it that the metals have started working in their brains? Because power plant, GRIDCo, what are you looking for there?
Yaira?
We even had the roadside one. By the road, do you want to destroy the road because you want gold and bauxite and whatnot?
I would still blame them. It's not their fault. Because it's this same Konongo, that's where we got to understand that there was illegal mining going on by the roadside. This same Konongo.
Yes.
And this same Konongo is where they are mining also close to GRIDCo station.
Yes.
So the question is, what are the leaders of Konongo doing? What is DC doing? Because if Minerals Commission have reported to District Chief Executive, if Minerals Commission have reported to District Chief Executive, and you are aware of this, not today, not yesterday, you are aware. So then we are GRIDCo. You are telling us that in no time Konongo will have a power outage of and I don't know.
So the roadside one, what would they do when they've worked their way and then the road caves in now and people cannot use it? What would
we hope the DC say or the car first one say when you be on phone say otomo he will come back to work on it because
the other day the Minerals Commission, the head or so was saying that they are not the ones supposed to handle. They report to the security agencies to handle these things. So if they are not handling it in the adequate way, they have done their part by reporting the issue. So it is up to the agencies now, the security agencies. If they are not doing their work, because it is frustrating and it is worrying. What is worrying me is the Galamseyers themselves. As you are mining by the roadside, if the road caves in or something happens, now accidents, cars are not even able to navigate on that road. What do they think is going to happen?
Say Sanka F4 like they don't even pollute the water in the first place. So that, as you said, they want money for their daily bread. So if they really care about the effects,
daily bread is going to start killing all of us.
That's why organized labor was in line that government should halt all activity. But people within organized labor were not in support of what organized labor is doing. So Yaira,
they have to advise themselves.
Exactly.
Because
they need to advise them. They need to
don't worry.
They need to advise themselves.
I'm sure they will even if they get to go and mine in the sea. Like
where? They said they are talking about money. It's not water bodies. They want money. So we'll buy generators. Don't worry. We'll buy generators.
This whole thing, the root cause, it is so far away from Galamsey that even when we decide to go and start from the root cause, by the time we get to Galamsey, we are all dead in the country. Because it starts from education, employment, then our standard of living. This is where it begins from. And if we start building the schools now, come on. But we have another comment. We have another comment here. It says, Mr. Kwe and beautiful panels. Galamsey boys and workers can wait for months for all Ghanaians to be safe in our health. There have been unemployed graduates at home for many years, so they can sacrifice their work for a moment for us to all be safer. This is from Neodigni Atukwekwe from Accra. Thank you for your comment. It's not all of them that can wait. Let's be honest.
Yeah, right. They can wait.
I mean, I hear it is a very lucrative business, so maybe they are making a lot of money. So, what can we even do?
So are they saying since we started crying that let's stop illegal mining? They didn't hear about 2 months ago. They didn't hear to start saving.
You are now
money.
coming to protest.
But the other thing too about business ventures is that maybe Mimi, you're a makeup artist, I sew or something. Then Clement wants to start. He will ask both of us, which one, who makes more money? Which one goes faster? Which one gets more? So maybe they know that they should start looking into other alternatives, but they are like, the money won't be quick and plenty like the Galamsey, so they are not interested. There's also that aspect we need to also think about. But this issue,
this issue, I like.
I can imagine how the government is feeling, because
he had.
And then I remember, about the organized labor again. The government has also assigned a number of courts to be dealing solely with the Galamsey issues as well. So I think it is all why our organized labor seem to, they've loosened the leash a little. Yes, but we hope they hold on to it.
Yes,
it shouldn't just be about the courts. It should also be about the people we persecute. It shouldn't be those at the tip or the tail.
It should be the ones
the financiers, those people.
So they are the ones they are supposed to tackle.
I think now the Galamseyers themselves, there should be, I don't know, an incentive for them to be able to be the whistleblowers as to who is the head.
Cushioning them.
Yes. Who is investing? If we can incentivize them, it will work.
Yeah, right. We have all the information on the desk. The then committee set on fight against Galamsey brought a lot of information on the desk. Recently, I know a Fourth Estate expose on Galamsey brought a lot of information on the desk. Why you just look into all these things? Even in the various communities, like what Minerals Commission is saying, he has reported an illegal activity just behind a police station at Enyinam. From Minerals Commission, what are they doing? Should you go have another incentive package for people to come and now? I think we already have the information, so government should just work on it. But I would like to say one funny thing, and we just end it here. Is when organized labor started all these things, people were saying it's political agenda, and people in the Party A were saying that Party B is the one fueling organized labor to do this. So my question is, since organized labor has suspended the strike, does it mean now Party A has now fueled organized labor more than Party B? So is it why do we?
Someone may come out with that.
It's wrong. Why do we make everything in this country look like political? It looks so political. It's wrong.
But what I'm talking about in terms of the incentive is like, you see the police station thing like this. I'm sure that the illegal mining that was going on there has a probable head that is investing in that. And when the police probably went to, enforce law and order there, somebody, gave them no curfew. So I'm saying if we incentivize the people partaking in the illegal mine, the workers, that can you give us who your boss is? And let's find, so that the prosecution will start there. Now, if your boss, the one paying you, has been arrested, you run away. We won't continue. We won't continue that job.
It's very hard.
But
the boss, might not even be the boss.
That's the word.
So if we are able to trace, contact tracing, we have a video from organized labor's interaction with the government from yesterday. So if our producers can please display that for us.
First, I wanted you here this afternoon to let you know our decision from this meeting. On Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, organized labor declared a nationwide strike. We deferred from October 10th, 2024. This followed the failure of government to address our demands to halt illegal mining in and around river bodies and forest reserves, as outlined in our press statement on October 11, 2024. Subsequently, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa AKUFFO, met with the leadership of organized labor on October 3rd, 2024. At that meeting, government offered a series of measures it intended to implement as part of efforts to combat the menace of illegal mining in the country. At a meeting of organized labor on October 7th, 2024, the meeting resolved that the measures announced by government were not adequate in addressing our demands and stopping the dangers posed by illegal mining. We therefore affirmed the strike notice and informed the government accordingly. Yesterday, October 8, 2024, the government team met with the leadership of Organized Labor and Ghana Employers Association. The meeting discussed at length Organized Labor's response to the earlier measures announced by government. Following this meeting, government offered enhanced and time-bound measures in respect of our demands and the fight against illegal mining. These measures include: 1, the revocation of the environmental protection, that's the mining in forest reserves, Regulations 2022, LI 2642. His Excellency the President has directed the Minister responsible for lands and natural resources to submit a memorandum for the revocation of the LI to Parliament when it reconvenes on Tuesday, October 15, 2024. The redeployment of the military and other law enforcement agencies to flush out illegal miners from water bodies and forest reserves. The military is now supporting the forest guards of the Forestry Commission to protect the forest reserves from destruction by illegal miners and loggers. Government, working with the judiciary, has already established 14 dedicated courts, 7 high courts, and 7 circuit courts to handle illegal mining cases. Collaboration with the Organized Labor and other stakeholders to fight illegal mining, government has asked Organized Labor to nominate representatives to be part of the stakeholders committee to fight illegal mining in the country. 5, government supports the call by Organized Labor for all presidential candidates to sign a pact committing to the fight against illegal mining. 6, government affirmed its commitment to engage with stakeholders, including Organized Labor and the Ghana Employers Association, to bring an end to illegal mining in Ghana. These are significant concessions that Organized Labor demands and threats have forced government to make towards combating illegal mining, that's Galamsey in Ghana. Comrades, Organized Labor has therefore decided to suspend the internal strike action. We are calling all workers to report for work on 10th of October 2024 and beyond. Organized Labor will keenly monitor the implementation of these measures which government has made, and government will hear from us if it fails to do the needful.
So we heard from Organized Labor, we've heard their stance on this. So please, those disappointed, please don't be too disappointed. Let's give our government some space to do this, because the issue, you don't even know where to start tackling it from, and it may take a while. That notwithstanding does not mean that the government too should slack in their, trying finding a way to curb this issue. Those involved, please think about the nation, think about the lives, think about posterity, and stop investing in illegal mining. Do we have any more stories?
The last thing I would say is the General Secretary in his ending statement, he said, if government fails to implement the measures, government will hear from them. That's the only thing I'm interested. Yes.
Of course, they will hear from us, because this is our life, this is our resources, and this is our home. Like we were saying the other day, we have nowhere else to go. We cannot be refugees in another nation, and I think we need to quickly do something about this before this starts affecting our foreign policy towards Togo, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire, because these rivers also flow there. If they are starting to get affected by this, I'm sure they are by now. Yeah. If it becomes an issue of emergency in their countries too, we are the ones who are at fault. It may start brewing a whole different thing, and we have always, I think when we were younger, there used to be this thing that if, with learning French, if the Francophone countries around us invade Ghana, what will we do? It was a way to help us learn French. Now, if they are angry with us that we are giving them polluted water, if they band together, 3 Francophone countries, what do you think will happen to Ghana? So please, let us be mindful and let us start taking action towards illegal mining around water bodies, around water reserves, and even our forests as well. Illegal mining in general. So this brings us to the end of our online and newspaper review. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for joining in. And of course, as always, it is a refreshing conversation with both of you. Next is the lifestyle segment, and they are going to be bringing us the sports highlights. Match day is today with Miriam and her guests. So stay tuned. Right after this break, she will be here with her guests for us.